Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank y'all again. Thank y'all for coming back. And thank y'all for all your feedback. Everybody who's been watching, who watched for the past few weeks, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad to get your feedback. Y'all been letting me know what y'all want to hear, what y'all want to see. And I'm going to try to get that to you. My mother told me I need to stop cursing so much. I was like, damn. Now I gotta try to find a way to stop cursing and shit. I'm just playing, Ma. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to them. Okay? I was just playing. I was talking to them. But, yeah, I'm ready. Let's get to it. We're gonna start with the COVID updates. As usual. We're gonna go straight into that. Y'all might have heard by now there's a new variant called IHU. IHU, doesn't it sound like a college? They got a variant that's a college or went to college, a smart ass variant. Anyway, so far it's only been found in France, and they're actually saying that it doesn't spread. It hasn't at least been spreading rapidly, and so far there's no real cause for concern. But of course, we all need to monitor that. The CDC say one thing one day and another thing another day. And a month later, they say squash all that. We're going to start all over again and give you all some new updates, new guidelines, all of that other stuff. So we'll see. Omarion apparently is the fastest spreading variant. If it's any consolation, it also appears to be having the least, severe effects. The effects of that variant are the least severe. They're not as severe as like the Delta or some of the other variants. So I guess that's good news. They're still saying hospitals are overwhelmed and still can't get a test. That's still another issue. Lines are still long for vaccines. They actually said that about as of January 3rd. What is it, 73.4% of the U.S. population is vaccinated. The funny thing is, in New Hampshire, they're almost at 100% vaccination. They said they got 98.2% of their population vaccinated. But we're talking about New Hampshire. It's only like 98 people in New Hampshire. Like, do you know anybody from or in New Hampshire? That's probably easy. And I don't know. Like, it was probably easy to vaccinate everybody. Probably all got them in the same place. Like, probably just lined up at the church and everybody got their vaccine on the same day. Like, I'm sure that was easy. I don't know what the real population of New Hampshire is. I'm just being silly and talking some old trash. What else? And when they say vaccinated, they mean like at least one dose. Like at least the first dose. I was talking about the testing, and tests are still hard to find, especially the home test kits. The rapid test kits, like the ones you take at home, those are hard to find in stores. And did y'all have issues? I heard a lot of people saying that they had issues with the rapid test not being as accurate as I think you call it the PCR test. They are basically saying they've been getting false negatives. So I learned earlier this week that there's a reason for that. And the reason is that the rapid test is actually testing for, your infectiousness. Like, it's basically testing to see if you're infected, as opposed to testing for the virus itself. Infectious is the word that I want to say, not infected. Infectious is like similar to contagious, I guess. But here's the issue. If you are infectious, the rapid test will likely come out positive. But if you have the virus but not infectious, it won't. So it's confusing, right? I know. I'm still trying to figure out how this works. But they also say that the PCR test actually tests for the virus. So if you take the PCR test, which is the one you have to wait like 1 to 3 days to get the results back on, that one is the more accurate one. and they're testing for the virus, the COVID-19 virus itself, as opposed to testing just to see if you're infectious. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons, or one of the possible reasons, that there have been like, faulty results. The thing about the home test, though, not only is it hard to come by, when you can find one, it's not that cheap. Those things can cost up to $30. And they're actually talking about how the best way to get the best results is to take 2 and 3 tests. Who is taking 3 tests at $30 a pop? Not me. So remember when I said hospitals are overwhelmed, right? A lot of those hospitals are like, look, you can't get a test. Don't come to the hospital if you just got a runny nose and a headache. Stay home and just assume that you have the COVID-19 virus in quarantine. And that's it. And I mean, like, is that where we at, though? Like, just assume you have the virus? Guess got the virus, y'all. Got the quarantine, call your job. Is your job even going to pay you at this time, at this rate? Who even knows? This is hard. This is one thing that I think I asked this question last week. Is this here to stay? Yeah. Are we ever going to get past it? No, you don't think so?
No. It's going to be what they call an endemic.
Endemic. But see, isn't the endemic when it's only to a specific area or a specific population?
Well, it's like the flu. It always exists, but like in smaller.
It always exists, but in smaller groups. Okay. I know like there's a whole bunch of words, pandemic, endemic, all types of demics, but I'm not a dictionary, so don't ask me what any of those things mean. We'll figure all that stuff out later. They also said with the Omicron variant and the home test kit that it is more effective if you swab your throats. But the test is made to be a nasal swab. So what do we do? Like, how do we do this? Mind you, a lot of this stuff is coming from, different scientists, different doctors. Some of it's coming from the CDC. Again, the CDC just tells us whatever they feel like saying at the moment, and then comes back out and says whatever they feel like saying the next moment. That's all we got on that. Moving on. Again early this week, snowstorms. Snowstorms just in various states across the country. But there's this one snowstorm that kind of stands out. It was in Virginia because it had this long traffic jam that was like 40 miles where cars were kind of stuck for over 24 hours on I-95. This is around Northern Virginia. And I got an interesting story about that pilot. Somebody in that that backup. Somebody in that backup was in an Uber. And they got stuck in that 24-hour backup in an Uber. Can y'all guess how much that ride came to? I don't know, but I wouldn't want to be the person who got charged, whatever it was. But it turns out that it was $600. And whoa. And I thought about it, right? So I'm like, okay, here's my thing. If I'm the driver, I'm not just good with the money, but I'm just like, if I'm going to be stuck in traffic for 24 hours, at the very least, I'm getting paid for it, right?
Right, yeah, they're missing out on a whole day's pay if they don't.
Yeah, otherwise,
that trip.
Yeah, they don't get paid. But if I'm the passenger, and I'm trying not to curse, but as the passenger, even just sitting there wondering how much is about to come to, you gotta be. I wonder if they were on the phone the whole time calling Uber, like, bruh, like, what we about to do about this? Like, something ain't right. This ain't my fault. What's about to happen? And at the end of the day, they got reimbursed. They got their the passenger got their $600 back. And I think the driver got paid. So hopefully, if they didn't, I thought we was about to have to start a GoFundMe for them. Try to get 4.5 million signatures or something on that, because that is crazy. And it was like the pilot, I'm going to stop saying pilot because it wasn't an X like a pilot. It was just a backup. The backup was because of stuff that happens in a snowstorm, like jackknife tractor trailers blocking off the entire interstate, and they had to wait until they cleared them. A bunch of hundreds of random accidents, like, just sliding and fender benders, bumpers falling off and stuff like that. And they were even abandoned cars. One person kind of described it as like a scene out of an apocalyptic movie. And when you think about it, it makes sense. And like all that stuff is the type of stuff you'll see in an apocalyptic movie. Like it looks just like all of them. Whether the movie is about aliens or earthquakes or a crazy ass storm or war. Like you'll usually see like there'll be a scene with cars on the highway and it'll be backed up and stupid stuff will be happening on the highway, like abandoned cars and jackknife tractor trailers and a bunch of confused people. So it makes sense, but that was crazy. They also had a bunch of residents lose power in that area due to that storm. I think it was like, over 400,000?
Yeah, 400,000.
Imagine 400,000 people in the same area losing people. It was dark. Losing power. It was dark. And some of those people had power that, had lost their power for days. Not 1 day, not 2 days. I'm talking about days, like almost the whole week. And that was a bad snowstorm. That snowstorm also affected some other states too, but this is the one that kind of stands out just because of like the severeness of not just the traffic jam, but just all the other stuff that had to do with it. There was something else going on with that, but in the end of the day, I'm just glad it's all over. They finally started clearing the roads. They said there's some areas that are still kind of dangerous or icy, but for the most part, people are at least trying to get back to normal as of right, as of today. Moving on. We could move on to our next topic. Now we usually start with the courtroom, and we will do trials every week as long as there's a trial. This week there's no trial, but there's an update. In this case, it is the sentencing for the killers of Ammar Aubry. So it's like it's three people altogether. It's two guys, a father and a son, and a neighbor, and they basically chased down Ammar Aubry and killed him. They were found guilty before, but this week, yesterday actually, they were sentenced. And the father and the son got life without the possibility of parole. And the neighbor got life with the possibility of parole. And they're both actually all three of them actually are facing another trial, because in this trial, they didn't make it a hate crime. They just made it a plain old straight up crime. And I think that actually played a role in them, the prosecution making their case. So they have to be tried all over again for the hate crime in Georgia. And people are saying that they're likely going to get another life sentence on top of the life sentences they already got. Wow. So that's very interesting. In the you had a question? Sorry. In the sentencing, the judge actually called for like a little moment of silence. He asked for 1 minute of silence, and it was mostly because he wanted to, try and show how long 1 minute can be when you're running for your life. And so he had the court be silent for 1 minute, and it did seem to be a long time when you're just sitting there waiting for the judge to finish talking. And he was like, well, that's just a fraction of the time that Ammar Aubry was running for his life. And it made sense. They were saying that was unusual for a judge to do. Usually prosecuting lawyers do that. But I guess the judge felt the need to do that because he wanted to kind of give a feel of why he felt the need to give those people those sentences. Anyway, that was a very interesting sentencing, and it seemed to be justice. And I'm glad we're getting justice finally with these cases these days, because this is new. We haven't always been getting justice. So that's where we are with that. And also last week, did y'all hear about George Floyd's niece being shot on New Year's Day? Well, so this was last week, Saturday. On New Year's Day, she was shot in an apartment in Houston. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And bullets just went right through the apartment and hit her in her torso. The Floyd family already got enough to deal with. They don't need new stuff. But what I can say is that the good thing is they do expect her to be okay, from what I heard. So I'm still ready to move on. I'm ready to get to entertainment, to the entertainment portion of our show. And of course, if you know me, you know I want to start with sports. And I know y'all been waiting for this, because I know y'all see the headlines all week. Y'all been watching all types of videos of your boy AB quitting. And so, Antonio Brown, who's the Buccaneers wide receiver, definitely quit on Sunday during Sunday's game against the New York Jets. He just decided that it was his last day, and he took off his equipment and left. And I luckily have a video. Well, it's easy to find this video, but I'm gonna play a little bit of it for you. Actually, this is pretty much all you need to see. So let's start here. This is him over here, and he looks like he's having an outburst about something. Somebody's trying to help him, maybe trying to stop him. And he's like, nah, it's a wrap. So he goes, throws his equipment. And now he's walking away because, he feels like it's time to go. Taking off his wife beater. Then he throws that into the stands, and I'm sure some happy fan got that. His gloves, there they go. And he is like really leaving. He's gone, his shirt is off. He's just like, I'm out. And mind y'all, the game is still going on. He is just leaving the game. He goes hopping across the end zone. And he is definitely like FTD, F this job. And he decided that was his last day. Now, I don't know what kind of conversation he's having over there, but he left. He is gone. And needless to say, he is now a free agent. Again. Because this is not his first time being a free agent. He's had outbursts and meltdown before and decided he didn't want to work there anymore. They definitely announced that he didn't have a job with Tampa Bay anymore. However, because he's a free agent, he can get picked up by another team at any time. I wonder if somebody will pick him up, though. Like, is anybody, scared to pick him up? Like, do they think he's a risk? We'll see. And I wonder how much they would pay him. Like, I wonder how much he's worth. Did his stock go down? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, though. I dropped something. I was just trying to pick it up. So, staying on sports, the Washington football team is expected to get a new name. And they are going to announce their new name on February 2nd. And the speculation is that the name is going to be the Admirals. So, what does admiral mean? What's an admiral?
It's like a commander or a high-ranking officer in the Navy. So
it's a military term for a high-ranking officer or commander. So maybe they're going to be commanding the field. I thought it had something to do with being admired at one time, but I'm like, no, admiral means something different. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I wonder if they're going to change their, official look or anything like that, but we will see, because they just got a W right now. So I wonder if they can keep that W or change it to something that looks more like an admiral. I don't know. We will see. And we're going to stick with sports, right? There's something else in sports, isn't there? Oh, Super Bowl. We did mention last week that the Super Bowl would be on February 13th. However, I forgot to add the halftime show lineup. I don't know how I forgot that. Anyway, we talking about Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dr. Dre, and also your girl Mary J. Blige. Actually, Dr. Dre is funding the whole thing, and they were saying there might be some concern that Dr. Dre could lose his money if the show is canceled. Of course, due to COVID and the spread of the Omicron variant. Basically, what they're saying is like, if it's canceled, he might lose all of the funding. But here's the thing. He has insurance. Like, there's insurance for if a show gets canceled. But apparently there's some fine print in the insurance agreement that basically has exemptions for if it gets canceled due to COVID. If it gets canceled due to basically COVID. And if that happens, then he'll lose however many millions of dollars that he put into funding the show. But nobody believes the show is going to be canceled, and it's not likely. Even if, they can't have fans or anything, they're more likely to keep the show with no fans. They even said they would move it to another venue, like across to Houston or somewhere in Texas, before they cancel the show altogether. So it's not likely that that's going to happen, but it was brought up because there's a chance, because of COVID, that any show at any time could be canceled. But now we're talking about shows and headlines. Your boy Ye is going to be headlining Coachella, which is scheduled to start in, I think, April. And I think they had canceled last year, so they're just continuing it now. But now we know Ye. We know he is famous for controversy, and he loves it. You know what else he loves? Uncanceling people who've been canceled. So here's what I want to know. Do y'all think that he is going to bring out Travis Scott? Like, what are the odds that he'll bring out Travis Scott? Or at least try. I don't know. You had mentioned that Travis Scott was canceled, but we don't know if he's banned. Like, he was removed as a, he's removed from the roster, so his name is not on the show no more. But does that mean that Ye can't bring him out?
I would think so, because the reason they removed him is because of the things going on with him. So it looked bad on them if they had him there, even if it wasn't their fault that he was there.
We're talking about Ye. Do Ye care about looking bad? Like,
no.
Does he even care about being
Coachella's going to think they look bad, not Ye.
But I don't think that they always tell Coachella who their guests are.
They don't, but they wouldn't like if Kanye did that.
I know. Kanye might like them not liking him. You know how he is. He likes to not be liked, but we will see. But let me tell you what else I want to see. And I know I'm not going to get it because I'll never get my wish. But sometimes they like to have comedians doing the announcements in shows like that. I would love for Pete Davidson to have to announce that show and have to announce Kanye. That would be so dope.
That
ain't going to happen.
Messed up.
It wouldn't be messed up. It would be dope. What you talking about? It ain't going to happen, though. It ain't going to happen, ever. You know what I forgot to mention when we were talking about the Super Bowl? That they actually got jobs for the Super Bowl. So, if you're over there in that area, I think it's like SoFi Stadium, it's in Inglewood, California. If you need a job for one day, or you just need some quick money, they are offering jobs for stage help, like for just helping set up the stage for the halftime show at Super Bowl. And it's paid. So, and you don't need experience. They're not giving you tickets, though. They won't be giving any tickets. But I meant to mention that, and I'm sorry that I didn't. So I just went back to add that. But so yeah, but you have to be in that area. And I'm not in California, but if anybody is, there you go. So now we're gonna move on to. We're gonna stay on entertainment. We're gonna move on to another celebrity, Tristan Thompson. He yeah, so last year he got hit with some child support suit, and he basically was denying the baby and told the chick, he wrote her a letter, it seems, that, and was like, you're not getting anything, and the baby is not, and saying the baby is not his. So he was like, you ain't gonna get nothing. But the paternity test came back, and Tristan Thompson was wrong. He aced that paternity test, and it was like all the way positive, and you are the father. So yes, he's the father of that baby, and he is now facing between $34,000 and $40,000 per month in child support payments. He also sent his other daughter flowers and apologized to Chloe and apologized to the baby. I guess for lying or cheating or whatever you got to apologize to your daughter for. And send flowers for it. Those type of things.
Yeah, he apologized to his other daughter, but not that daughter.
He apologized to his other daughter, his other baby mama, but not the one that he played. You know what I'm saying? Not her. Like, he basically never, I don't know what happened with that, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure there'll be some new updates because these people love watching these people do stupid stuff. Speaking of stupid stuff, now, this is not a celebrity. This guy named Justin Johnson. He's not a celebrity, but he's connected to a celebrity, not in a stupid way because he was doing something stupid. And I wanted to put this story in a section where we put the dummies of the week or whatever. But the thing is, that section is reserved for like unique dummies. He's just a regular everyday dummy doing regular everyday dumb stuff that regular dummies do, especially the young ones. He's making a video, kind of like implementing himself, like kind of basically putting himself in a position where he could be a suspect in a crime.
Young Dolph's crime.
And basically it's the murder of young Dolph. So he's connected to the killing of young Dolph because he's shooting a video in front of the same house where they towed the vehicle that was the getaway vehicle in young Dolph's murder. So I have a video of it, so we are going to go watch it. And if I can get that up. But again, stupid. But regular old everyday stupid because he's definitely not the only one who did this nonsense. A bunch of young people, especially Gen Zers, do this where they make videos of themselves doing stupid stuff that they could be convicted of crimes for. So here's the video. There's the house back there. That is this a picture of the house. I guess his rap name is Straight Dolph, but Straight Drop. His real name is Justin Johnson. I also have a picture of the vehicle. There's the house again. Needless to say, he is now a suspect in the murder of young Dolph, and the cops are looking for him. He made a post saying that it's not true or whatever, basically saying it's all cap, but it doesn't look like cap. Look at you right in front of the house where it happened, having a video. I didn't even see what the video was about. I didn't listen to it because I didn't want to hear it. The whole thing was stupid, but they all do stupid stuff. They got guns. They talk about what they did. Sometimes they just straight up make a video, a rap song saying what they did. And that's what he did. That was dumb. But because it was regular dumb, we didn't make it the dummy of the week. But I got that on deck for you, and that's coming. And this ain't regular dumb. We got a special kind of dumb on that part. But I can go ahead and move on to TV shows and stick to entertainment. And we got Power fans. Power Book 2 is returning on January 9th. I don't know why I said June. January 9th, which is tomorrow. So y'all get to see that. That's the, I think it's the second half of the season, but it's returning. Blackish is only returning for this final season, though. Blackish came back this week, but it's the final season. They won't be coming back after the season. They had their premiere on Tuesday, and Michelle Obama was a guest star on the show. I thought that was dope. Another new TV show that just started this week, Steve Harvey Court. So it's Steve Harvey in his court, but it's like not real court because Steve Harvey's not a real judge. But it's Steve Harvey like sitting up, on a podium on a bench like it's he's a judge and he's judging people, and people are up there like presenting their cases to him, and he's just talking back to them like he basically talks to Family Feud contestants, like giving them looks and making them feel dumb. And that seems to be pretty cool. And I think that is on ABC. We didn't get to watch it this week because Verizon had beef with ABC, but I heard they fixed that, and I will be watching next week because this should be interesting. But when it comes out, if y'all do get a chance to check it out, let us know. Let me know what you think, and we'll see. I'm ready. I'm all the way ready to get to the next part. Yeah, and it's this week's dummy. So this week, this dummy is a unique dummy doing a unique dumbness. It's actually a Karen. It's a DoorDasher who is upset about her DoorDash order. No, not the order, the tip. She's the dasher. She's upset about the tip that the customer gave her. The customer records the conversation on their Ring doorbell, and we're gonna watch this because it's real dumb. She's upset about something that's real stupid. So let's take a quick little look at what happened here.
This food delivery driver is furious over the tip she got.
I need to speak to you. I don't think you realize where they're coming from, so I need to
Who's
speak
they?
to you.
They're coming from what?
Where what's coming from?
The driver who delivers for DoorDash was captured on the homeowner's Ring camera.
I drove 40 minutes, and it was extremely far, and I got it to you early. So I don't think you realize where you work from.
That's a 15-20-minute drive.
It's not. You need to try to drive it. I just drove it. It's 40 minutes.
Well, we decided to check for ourselves. The restaurant was in Comac, New York. The house was in Smithtown. According to Google Maps, that's a 5.5-mile drive and should take only 12 minutes.
Okay. So I don't know what route she took, but even if it did take her 40 minutes, how is that the customer's fault? Like, he tipped her before most likely he put the tip in before that even happened. But anyway, that means she was late. So this is another reason why he shouldn't have had to give her a better tip. But anyway, let's continue.
I think you need to adjust your tip to make it right.
So, what was the tip?
You gave an $8 tip.
What the hell are you looking for?
I feel him.
I'm going to bring the food back. Okay.
That's right, she took the food back.
And she really brought the food back. And the reason why she's coming under the dummy category because that was dumb. Okay, like, now I want to compare it to something. First of all around the whole thing was dumb. I don't know what route she took, but apparently it took long. And even in okay, she said it was about 12 miles, right? So let's say it was 12 miles. Do you know anything that's 12 miles from your house? Does it take 40 minutes to get there? Now, we Googled something that was 12 miles from us, and we turned out Rosie's was about 12 and a half miles from here. And the GPS says it should take about, what did it say? 10 minutes? 13 minutes? Something like that.
Something like that.
Anyway, and that's without traffic. So even in traffic, so we did it again like a few minutes later when it was like closer to rush hour, and it went up to 18 minutes. And that was in traffic. So, I don't know where she went that took 40 minutes. But again, even if it did take 40 minutes, how is that the customer's fault? Like, if anything, he got his order even later than what he was expecting. Now, let's move on to this. Now, the part where she takes it back. Okay, ladies. Say you braid somebody's hair, and then you finish braiding it, and then they tip you, and you don't like the tip. Do you take all the braids back out? Like, that is so dumb. If you're a taxi driver or Uber, and you take somebody to wherever they paid you to take them, and you drop them off, and when you get to the place, they give you a tip, and you don't like the tip, do you drive them all the way back to where they came from? This is just all around stupid, plain old dumb, and she's the winner of this week. Anyway, that is all we have for you. It's getting late. Everybody's tired. I'm ready to go. I'm so glad again to be here. I hope to see you again next week. I am NY Tasha. My show is Fresh Press. Our show is Fresh Press. My channel is Queen of Spades. Please subscribe. Like the video. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. We'll see you next week. Bye.